Guys, the 13th round of the FIDE World Chess Championship is finally over. And today we had a bloodbath on the position. Gukesh with white pieces opened with 1e4. एक ऐसा मूव जो उसने गेम नंबर 1 में खेला था एंड लेटर डाउन द लाइन ही प्लेड इट वंस अगेन एंड जो उसका रिस्पॉन्स है बाय डिंग वाज ऑलवेज बिन e6. The French defense. And today, 13th round, the second last game of the FIDE World Chess Championship में भी हमें देखने को मिला French defense. Gukesh with 1d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6, e5, the advanced French variation, c5, c3, knight c6, a3, and bishop e7, bishop to e3. And ये बहुत ही standard French theory है. So we see knight f4, which was interesting. He took on d4, c takes d4, and knight to c4, attacking the bishop. Sorry, knight to bishop and the pawn on b2. So Gukesh ने यहाँ पे अपना lights को bishop को दे दिया on c4, and Ding के पास है the bishop pair advantage. So in end games when the position opens up, long term में हमेशा black would be much better. So we see knight e2 and b5 castles. Now in this position there is one more suggestion I would say by the engine and some of the lines I was following in other streams. जिसके अंदर people were saying knight to c3 was apparently interesting because let's say first of all this knight is attacking the pawn on b5. So if you play something like a6, you can actually start with your attack with queen to g4, putting pressure over here. And yeah, that was the plan. But Gukesh went with a very calmer approach with castles, and after castle he played knight c3. But now the difference is black can play rook to b8, and जो कि Ding ने खेला. We see knight to h5, creating potential attacking chances, creating some threats on the black king. Now f5, which was a great move by Ding. En passant, bishop into f6 and queen to f3. Now queen e8, another great move which holds the knight which is hanging currently on c6 and also put pressure on the knight on h5. Gukesh here took the bishop, rook into f6, अब bishop pair नहीं है, and okay, he went back with queen e2, queen to g6, now f3, rook went back, and in this position, can you guess क्या होता है? First rook, I'm sorry, rook ad1. इसके बाद क्या होता है? In this position, Gukesh plays bishop f4, which is a brilliancy. So the thing is, if you take this, free bishop, there is just simply queen e5, which attacks the rook on f4 and also keeping an eye on the rook on b8. So, ठीक है. Obviously, he won't take it. He plays rook to b6, and now bishop c7, again harassing the rook on b6. Rook went back to b7, bishop to d6, attacking the knight. Now in this position, he played, first of all, he took the knight, then queen to e5. Now a very interesting move, pawn to d5. So obviously if you take, you lose your क्या कहते हैं, you don't really lose anything, but yeah, कुछ तो हो रहा है. Never mind. Now we see queen to c5, rook went back to e8, rook to d1, queen f7. एंड यहाँ पे एक चीज नोट करने वाली है कि Gukesh played rook to d1, and black can actually go with this line where he has two rooks, but white has a knight for a bishop. So usually होता क्या ना in endgames when there is a queen against two rooks but you have a knight, there are much more threats and black has to be very careful. So he went with queen f7, which was not really the क्या कहते हैं, the best move. Here Gukesh played knight e4, but यहाँ पे पहले rook into e8 मार के take करके फिर knight e4 खेलना चाहिए था, creating threats in the position. But the problem with knight e4 directly is, and this was the only move which Ding has to find, which is rook to f8. अगर वो find नहीं करते and you make some random move, there are knight to d6 plans. Okay, rook f8. Now when you go knight to d6, there is rook to c7 any time. If you take the queen, your queen on c5 is also hanging. So यहाँ पे he went with queen e5, queen f6, a check, king h8, and in this position he went with rook to e5. Rook e7, double up on the e file, takes, h6. अब after queen c5, यहाँ पे चीजें थोड़ी downhill going start हुई. Gukesh basically lost his advantage. He went with knight e4, allowing queen to f4. Now, I'm not saying कि black is better or something. It's objectively an equal position, but जो potential advantage था and he was playing for a win, it has been vanished. And queen checks वगैरह देखने को मिल रहे हैं. There are potential b2 pawn losses. So he went with rook to e7. Now bishop f5, queen d4, and rook to g8, guarding the pawn on g7, preventing it from a checkmate. Now h3, queen check, queen f2, and he took the knight on e4, rook e4, and c3. अब तुम notice कर ही सकते हो ना, pretty much we had a bloodbath. We went with a crazy attack on the king side and also witnessed the French defense. But after all these exchanges, it feels like the fire has blown away, right? अब वो fire power in position में to create threats, and yeah, after move like a5, rook to b7, queen c4, queen e5, you pretty much lose material. If you play something like, let's say, queen here, there are some checks in the position. You go here, 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 there, queen c2, go here, queen g6, and simply that would be a draw. So he played queen c6, obviously. Sorry, queen b5, but Ding went with queen to c3, rook a7, check, king went back, queen b4, takes, rook b7. Okay, at a very beginner level or intermediate level, you might seem like this position might be winning for white because of, after rook takes b4, white has 3 pawns and black has 2 pawns. But again, these guys are super grandmasters, one of the best players on the planet right now, the world champion and the world chess champion challenger. So ये position में कुछ है ही नहीं दिखाने को. It's a theoretical draw. Rook versus rook with 3 pawns and 2 pawns on the same side is always a draw. So okay, you can obviously have fun watching the game, but you see, after a few moves, we come into a position where Ding basically sacrifices h pawn. If you take it, you lose your g pawn, and again, that's a draw. Gukesh played king to f4, check, king f3, and yeah, they basically drew. And अगर तुम आगे भी जाओगे ना, like for example here, there is this check, the rook is guarded by the pawn, and if you take, you lose the g3 pawn as well. So in this position, they repeated 3 times, and the game ended in a draw. So yeah, ये था आज का game. I hope you guys liked it. Again, it was the second last game of the World Chess Championship. We have one more game tomorrow, I believe. जिसमें Gukesh has the black pieces and Ding has the white pieces. Okay, let me know your predictions. What do you think? If Gukesh draws once again, tie breaks में चीजें काफी tricky हो सकती है. And again, pressing with the black pieces, winning a game, it's very unlikely because white has the advantage. Let's see, a pretty interesting match ahead. And yeah, see you guys in another video or stream. Kate Gaming signing off. Bye bye, peace.